checks to sign, we'll keep going. Okay, there's checks.
What is this? Oh, for the wastewater plant. Never mind.
Okay, it is 6:30. We'll call to session the June 11th work session for the City Council of Tenino. Number one on the agenda is review of the 6/11 agenda. And just to make sure you don't see anything, if you want to add anything, let us know and we'll do that during the regular session.
Oh, Jim, what does this mean?
No additions you see for tonight's agenda? Anybody? Everybody good? Okay, next on the, is the mid-year council retreat, and I will just mention, we had a budget meeting today, and, you know, we had planned on doing a second retreat in August, I think we were kind of looking at, which would cost us about $3,000. We were scrubbing that budget for every penny, and our thought was that we may just, if we want to do a work session, kind of a deeper dive into the budget or anything, but we said the recommendation from everybody was to not do that. That's $3,000 more that we don't need to spend. So if everybody's on board with that, we won't make a decision tonight, but that's kind of the
Yeah, we, you know, we can have those things ourselves. We don't need to have someone presenting, no moderator. We can do that ourselves.
Indeed, although it doesn't hurt to have a moderator.
No,
it
but
doesn't hurt.
if we're trying to save a little money, so.
So anyway, if anybody has any heartburn about that, we can talk about it more in the regular session, but that's kind of where we were at with that. Old
It's
pub,
real late, so I'm good.
yeah. Old Public Works Building, again, this kind of, the next two kind of roll into the budget. And what I thought maybe we could do, because budget's kind of one of the big things I wanted to talk about, maybe we could just go into the reports, and when we get to the budget committee, kind of go over what we talked about today in the budget. Is that okay for everybody? Because Public Works Building and the budget is kind of part of that. So let's go to reports. Chamber of Commerce, EDC.
Oh, here.
You got it. Sorry, caught you right in there.
I've got the Tenino Chamber plus the EDC and Steady
Okay.
reports. So the Chamber will meet on Wednesday, June 19th at noon at San Antonio Cafe. Featured speaker will be Mayor Watterson and representatives from BVAT. And the EDC, the next Thurston EDC event is Economic Courage Awards at their summer meeting, July 25th. Nominations will close this Friday for Courage Awards, and Tenino is encouraged to submit a nomination. Steady, South Thurston Economic Development Initiative, next Friday, the 21st, 8 a.m. in the Rainier Senior Center. The Port of Olympia will present South County communities $10,000 small cities grant checks. The new manager, Leonard Hernandez, will be attending, and congressional staff will be presenting information about the federal funding process. So that's all those reports.
Thank you, Linda.
Sure.
Arch Commission, nobody here. VCB, nobody. South Thurston Fire, nobody's here. We'll go back to these if they show up. Library, no. Museum.
One quick note with the library, although maybe this is Public Works, but the project to reside the building is happening, probably in July. It'll be by the library's maintenance people, but the city is buying the siding material. And on the west side of the building, we've got some smooth, hardy panel material that we'll use, so it's a nice smooth surface. There's going to be the
The mural's
we
gonna go on
talked about
that side, right?
So that's underway, or planned to, it's in the works.
Thank you. Museum, Tenino Community Service Center's not here. Like I said, we'll go back to these as they show up. Committees, Civil Service Commission. Is there any, I don't
Nobody
think
here.
there's been. Facade Improvement Grant,
No report.
Finance Committee. So here we'll get into the, kind of go back to the, the Finance Committee met to talk about our budget, where we're at this year, and try to make some recommendations for cuts. We really focused on the Capital Improvement Fund. That was one of the ones that was really going to be in the hole if we didn't make some cuts, or we didn't make some cuts. So we went through that. We cut a little over $800,000, which seems like a lot, but there were several projects in there. One was $450,000 for lakeside pool improvements that we just weren't going to do this year anyway, but it was budgeted for. So that was half of it right there. But there were several other areas that we could make some felt we could make some cuts. So they all added up to $800,000.
Not really cuts, but just pushing down the road.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, but for this year, we won't be doing a lot of that stuff this year. So we kind of got, I put some initial numbers in the spreadsheet, and it looks like that helps us, kind of covers our shortfall that we were looking at in the Capital Improvement Fund. We're still going to have to do some work on our general fund, and general fund is the big one still, and let me see, I got my sheet here. And we're a little bit under in the street fund that we're going to have to do some work on. So some of the things we talked about were on our list that I just had, surplus properties in the city. The old Public Works building is, nobody thinks the city has a long-term need to keep that, so we're looking at possibly surplusing that property there. Also, we have a property over on Washington Street. I know we've talked about doing that land swap over there with the Richardsons. I'm going to approach them and see if they're interested in just buying that piece out. And this will have to be after council approval to surplus all this, obviously. But these are just ideas that came up. So
That
I'm
would
going
give them, both of them, keep their lot
Yeah.
plus buy the other one.
yeah. That would be the easiest for them versus them doing a land swap and paying for all the costs of doing a land swap. It probably wouldn't be much more for them just to buy it out by the time. There's also a few properties over on Green Street.
Yeah, we've
There's
got 3 lots on Green Street.
3 lots on Green Street that they can't see any really long-term use for the city. So Jen already has reached out to see if we can get some appraisals on those properties to see what they're worth. If we can sell those, that would be a good, I think, long-term answer to our short-term problem with getting this budget back on track, if we could sell those properties. And let's see, what else do we, I got the list here, what day? Sorry, hope I brought it up. Jen, help me out. What else did we talk about? There's something else, it seems like I'm forgetting to, that we, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember now. The other thing we talked about, we've built up a reserve fund over the years. A few years back when we were low, we started putting money in a reserve fund, or basically a rainy day fund, so if something happened, we would have some kind of reserve sitting there. That's $95,000. Even though it doesn't really solve our budget problem, moving that positive $95,000 into one of those budgets that's in the negative, just to make it, yeah, helps us, helps a little bit with that. And then I'd seen this but didn't know what it was. We have $360,000 in a fund with the state that has been collecting interest for some time, and I don't think any of us even know where the money came from or anything.
I think it only started out maybe a
few
couple
years.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's quite a nice little
Yeah.
interest. They
So we
pay
reached
on it.
out to them today because none of our names were even on the, Jen's was, but my name wasn't, and nobody else in the organizations were on that to be able to take money out of it or in it, but it's $360,000 is sitting with the state just to collect, they pay better interest than our just regular savings accounts. So that's another, that's not assigned to anything that we can figure out right now. So we can use that to help offset some of these costs in our, our short-term problem for this year. We're looking into what we can do with that $365,000 there to help our general fund. So we're trying to scrape every bit, make this as painless as possible by, selling some properties that we've been sitting on that we don't really need and using some funds that we basically just had saved to help get this thing balanced and without having to make any personnel cuts, because the last thing I want to do is, we're already short-staffed, and to cut people would be difficult. So probably we're going to do a budget amendment, probably in July, we're going to need to do a budget amendment. So we're going to come back to you with these ideas. We'll know what the property's worth. We may not have sold it yet, but we'll at least know, kind of have an idea what they're worth. We'll have an idea with that money that's with the state, what we can do with that. And I'm feeling pretty good with that and the cuts we've already made in the capital improvement fund. We may not have a lot extra, but it's going to get us back to a good place overall with our budget for 2023, and then moving into 2020, we'll be in a good place for 2024. I'm a year off. And then in 2025, we're going to have to kind of look at, okay, we're not going to have a lot of extra to start out with. We're going to have to, figure out how we're going to spend in 2025. But I'm feeling a lot better about our 2024 budget, and I think we have some resources that we can kind of get things back on the right track in this year. So that's kind of where we're at with the budget. You guys were at the meeting. I don't know if you want to make any comments or have any other.
I feel better about it.
Yeah.
Those are the most practical.
Yeah. Is there any other
Options.
questions? Like I said, we'll come back to you at a future meeting, because we'll have to do a budget amendment to kind of balance things out and move monies around. So we'll have more details at that time when we come back with a full report.
So, Mayor, I'm curious. I was at the meeting last December, I think it was, when we had the budget presented for the coming year, and it sounded like everything was fine. Do we know what happened between then and now?
Yes, I can tell you what happened. I can kind of explain what happened. I think this kind of came from, we've had a lot of turnover in our clerk treasurer's position. And what happened, from my understanding, is that there was no reconciliations of the budgets for, was it 3 years, Jen?
4.
4 years. So in 1990, when we got to the end of the year, nobody really closed out the budget and said, here's where we're at the end of the year to carry over to the next year. And so that number that they ended up with was not correct. So that next year, they transferred a number that wasn't really accurate. Again, that next year, at the end of the year, there was no reconciliation, so that looked like we had a lot more money. They transferred that to the next year. And so basically, we started this year to do that reconciliation process that we hired somebody to do for us, and they came back with the real numbers. And here's a great example. At the beginning of 2024, when we presented the budget, we said we had $267,000, I think it was, to start out with. Well, we're minus $360,000. That's a huge swing. That's $600,000 just to start off that we didn't have, that we thought we did when we, presented the budget. So that's kind of where this came from. We got 23 done now, so we're kind of back on track to know exactly where we're at for 24. And that's what this process is going to, at the end of 24, we'll make sure we know the exact numbers that we're in the year with, and have everything reconciled and have an accurate number to go into 2025 with.
So I'm not an accountant, but it would seem like this reconciliation is kind of an important thing to do for a public entity every year.
I would say, yeah.
Yes.
I used to all the time reconcile. Everybody, you can't spend more money as a city than you're taking in, and that's basically what we've been doing, because we haven't really had a true figure for our budget. Each year, what technically should happen, if you spend more than you expect, you have to either borrow money from another fund, like our sewer fund. You should end up with you can't end up in the negative in your budget, and we did. We ended up hundreds of $1,000s in the negative, and we've done that for the last 3 years. We've been in the negative in some places, so that's why we got to catch up so much.
Okay, does the council need to help you with this in any way with a resolution, or is the city back on track doing what it sounds like it should have been doing all along?
Yeah, what we'll have to do is do that budget adjustment mid-year to kind
Oh,
of.
he's talking about, are they reconciling the check? Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
do we have the
Yes.
policies and such in place?
Yeah,
that
I think it's just a matter of, we had a lot of turnover and things just didn't get done. So I'm making sure that we're gonna have that done at the end of for this year.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that you expressed concerns right from the start and jumped into getting the books sorted out, and so we know what we're
It's
working
been a
with.
little nerve-wracking for me, but I feel better today. Today's been, since we kind of sat down and really talked about what we can cut and ways we can fix it, I feel a lot better today than I have for some time, because it's kind of nerve-wracking not knowing how much money you have when you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, you know?
Absolutely, and job one for a public official is taking care of the taxpayers' money, so thank you for jumping up and taking care of that.
Any other questions, comments? That's kind of my planning commission. I think he's not here.
No report?
Public safety committee
We had one, no, this Thursday, we had social.
coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. Public works committee. Anybody, did public works meet?
Yes, Elaine and I met with Troy this morning and got an update on things that are going on there. The pool, I guess, is the most interesting part of that. We're still on track to open on the 22nd. Today we had the inspection by the county health department to give us the okay. I haven't heard the result yet, but I expect no news is good news.
I'll add on that. That didn't happen today, so it got rescheduled. So we
Okay.
don't know for sure, yeah.
All right. So that's the
We're, yeah, we have a couple weeks, but yeah, it's getting down there, so
okay.
we
Good.
got to get them back in here.
Okay. The sewer plant, we're replacing the fine screens, I guess, in the sewer plant. It's time to replace that, and our permit is in with the city to get that, or with the state rather, to get that approved. So that's in process to upgrade. There's routine maintenance that wear out over time, and Public Works is taking care of keeping that plant running. We have a requirement from the federal government, I take it, to inspect the service pipes from the meters to the various houses around, and I expect businesses as well.
Water.
Checking for copper and lead pipes. And that's going to be a drain on the city's public works people. That's a lot of work to go through all the houses and check on that at a time when they're the most busiest part of the year.
Well, the Public Works has to check on a private homes
Yes.
Yes, it's a new federal
That it run-
requirement for lead and copper.
up to the house, right?
Well, he's saying it's
Not
on the other
inside
side.
the house?
He's saying it's on the other side of the line, is my understanding. And because we have so many older houses
Yeah.
in the city, we're certainly at risk of.
It's on homes that were built before 1988.
Is everyone's microphone on? Sorry.
Oh, mine is.
Mine is.
I've got two of them here.
Thank you.
And what else do we have? Oh, good news from Jessica. I guess they had their first swing dance lesson out there. Had 9 people join. Room for more. So if anybody's interested in doing that, it's a happening thing out there. One thing I asked Troy for, we talked about the planning commission. Speaking with Adam Carney, their liaison with the city council here, he and I are both interested in learning more about the water rights and the water capabilities that the city of Tenino has, seeing as how we're up against the comprehensive plan. And in that plan, we plan for all these houses without saying how we're going to water them.
Provide services to them, yeah.
I understand the city has a consultant working out those rights, but what I'd like from the city, Dave, is a formal report, or at least semi-formal with the numbers that we can see how many taps are available, what our capability is going down, and the same with the sewer, just because that's part of the infrastructure we need to consider. And the planning commission needs to consider as we
Right.
go forward with this. Can we get that, please?
Yeah. And I think Troy has that. I think he handed it out a few meetings ago, so I'll get with Troy. But at least the water, I think we have a lot of capacity in the sewer system, but we can probably easily get that. But Troy just did a water report, so I'll grab that or have him send it to you, or I'll get it and get it to you.
Right, and to,
Yeah, it was not many. It was like 100 and something ERUs. We have 150 or something ERUs, if I remember right, 160 around there that we had,
Right.
and that's not many, so,
we're being
Yeah.
asked for over 500.
yeah,
And that doesn't count commercial water use.
right. That's only, yeah, an ERU is like one house, so if you have a school come in, they have, multiple ERUs there,
Or a
so.
commercial kitchen that's washing dishes all day long,
Right.
or anything like that.
Is that it, or?
That's pretty much, yes, that's a report for.
I will just add on those replacement of those screens. I think they've lasted a lot longer than we expected. I think this is the first time that they've had to replace those fine screens, but they are spending, that's a $400,000 project, I think, to replace those screens. So it's gonna, we have the money luckily in our sewer budget to cover that, but it's gonna be a big expense to do that, but it's just part of operating the system. Okay, thank you for that. Chief of Police isn't here, Public Works, Code Enforcement, Park Specialist, man, nobody's, Clerk Treasurer.
Hi. I don't have a lot to report. We've been working hard on the audit. The auditors were out last week. They spent an entire day here. It was super successful. I think city staff all learned a lot. So we're prepared for the next one, which will hopefully be in 2 years and not 4. And I also wanted to remind everyone, Jessica's got a lot of work into Family Fun Day, June 22nd. Don't forget there'll be live music on the Corey House stage, and the pool will be free that day. They're kicking around some awesome ideas to maybe host a couple of adult-only swim nights this summer, maybe on some Saturday nights after the pool closes, after hours with like a theme. So stay tuned for more on that, but don't forget June 22nd.
Thanks, Jen. Mayor, well, I was out of town last meeting, so I just got back this last week. And I had a meeting with the Nisqually Valley News. He came over and looked at our pool and took some pictures and was very impressed with the facilities
Yay.
over there. He was, it's like, I've lived in this area my whole life and I've never been here. This is amazing,
It just amazes me that people,
Don't even realize
they
you
come
have-
in the shop down there. I lived here for 20 years. How long have you been here? Oh, 13 years. Oh my God, I didn't even know you were here. I just want to grab them and shake them.
So there was an article in the, I think these papers kind of work together, the Nisqually Valley News
Oh,
and
they
the
do, yeah.
Chronicle. So it was in the Chronicle and then Nisqually Valley
Yeah,
News, an article
they're the
about it.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
owned by the same person.
Yeah.
We had, let's see here, trying to look at today we had the Finance Committee meeting. We met with about the Ag Park a little bit. Sorry, my old age brain is going. Have to stop and think about what we talked about.
You've been too many members.
Yeah, I've been
Egg
looking
Park,
at
you want to know about the Egg Park? Well,
The Ag Park was just a,
well,
basically an update on, we received appropriation from Glusenkamp for $500,000. But as with any federal grant, they don't make it easy to, so they,
Easy to get the money, it's hard to spend it.
yeah. So they told us we have this money, but they're requiring, as one of the pieces of it, what was it called, Jen? The environmental review.
yeah.
Environmental review before we can do anything, even though the Ag Park's already been cleared, all this work's been done. We have to do an environmental review to get the money on whatever.
So so that would be up to the EDC though, not us. Is it
Well, it's part of the
city or
grant.
the EDC?
There's money in the grant for it.
But
That's their money,
If the
yeah.
city uses it, then we have to do that, but if the EDC uses
EDC, they have to do it.
Right.
Okay.
But to get the money, yeah, either us or whoever, it's the EDC. It's their money that they got. So it's like, what do you do? The ground's already been disturbed, it's, you know,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to spend money, more money just to do an environmental review before, and then after that,
How
you don't,
long is the review that we did last? How long is that?
you can't use the old reviews. You have to do a brand new review for everything, no matter if it was yesterday you did one or you have to do another one. Specifically to what the project that you're proposing to do, it has to be, so there's some complications. We have a little time, but, yeah, the conversation was around how, you know,
Yeah,
this is what it's gonna take to get this money, and it's not just gonna come overnight, and,
well, but like I said, that's up to EDC, that's not up to us.
yeah.
It's not up to the city. It's up to the,
And excuse me, what is this project we have the money proposed for?
We asked the,
Is that the buyer digester?
huh?
no,
No, this is for
this is
just,
for the
this is
ag
for
park.
improvements for the ag park, so I think it was sold as for, what was it?
Wasn't it the sign, the big entrance sign?
Oh, yeah, they wanna, well, maybe possibly the landscaping,
Yeah,
because EDC doesn't have any money to do the landscaping, even though they're responsible for it. So they're hoping this $500,000, 200,000 of it can be used for the landscaping. There was some talk about doing some kind of signage up front, which I don't think is the best use of that. I mean, we need a sign maybe eventually. but-
that's entirely up to them.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to come up with what
Yeah.
projects they wanna do with that. We're gonna have a meeting, I think, try to do a meeting next week to kind of get input on what we think would be the best things for that, money to be used for. And then again, like I said, there's so many conditions to, so, anyway,
Or do we have to come up with a match?
we don't,
Oh,
I don't,
that's cool.
Well, what's not up, it's not, it's an EDC
Well,
is getting the
either-
grant, not
either way,
us.
Does that money have to come up with a match?
yeah, I don't know if they do, I don't think he said it.
He
There's
didn't
a-
say that.
He didn't say there was a match for it, but, yeah. So anyway, the joys of grant processes.
Well,
But
federal grant process.
it's even worse than state ones are, yeah.
Yeah.
Is all this 500,000 going to this specific project?
Yes.
Yes, it all has to go to it's all earmarked for,
So if the landscaping and the new sign don't come to $500,000, do we know how EDC wants to spend the rest of it?
Well, that's up to them.
we
No.
haven't determined that, that's why we're gonna get it.
Well, it's
get
up to
together.
them, but it's our property. Have we talked to them about?
We're having a meeting next week about what they wanna, I mean, landscaping is kind of the one we have to get done before
Sure.
they can open, part of it is landscaping. And then when we have this meeting next week, we'll talk about what other, we'll be there and we'll talk about what other things that they wanna, consider doing with the rest of that money.
Okay,
And I'll report back to you what they,
thank you.
liaisons, be that?
Yes, or right, Jason, all right. Jason and I have talked with BTAP people, and I'm going to take over the liaison responsibilities from Jason with the approval and consent of the BTAP people. So I look forward to learning more about that and doing what I can there.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Solid Waste Advisory Board?
We had a meeting on Wednesday of last week. On June 1 was the styrofoam ban in Washington. Total ban, you should see no restaurant, nobody with styrofoam to go.
Like containers, you can't use those anymore?
Containers.
They didn't give him any
Yeah.
kind of leeway on that?
No, they can,
They can
No,
use
they-
up
they
what
can use
they've
it
got
until they run out.
till they run out, just like
Yeah.
the plastic bags.
Except for, and there are exceptions to that ban for medical equipment and food delivery, like, you order meals.
Yeah, they
type
come in a big
thing.
styrofoam thing.
Right,
And-
like Blue Apron and some of those that
And
prepare
a lot of
meals. They're allowed to still
Chicago
use
steaks when they come to
the,
your house.
Well, and they also send insulin products in
yes,
those.
Like
that's your
insulated?
medical
Yeah.
equipment, yeah.
So can you like buy styrofoam coolers like you used to buy at the
No,
store? Those are
you
not?
cannot.
No, you're not gonna, I'm happy to see the the popcorn things go. I mean,
Those,
oh,
yeah.
God, what a pain in the butt those are.
If you want
So-
one of those, you have to go to garage sales.
Yeah.
The bid is going out for the new compactor as soon as they have the public hearing on it. July, there will be no regular meeting. It's going to be tours of the different work
Facility.
or where they haul the trash to in Roosevelt, the recycling centers, the Brady Trucking that hauls a bunch of the
Oh.
yard waste out. So you can sign up for whichever you want. They tried out the EV trucks over where our waste is hauled to in Roosevelt, and they're not acceptable because there's a hill that they have to go up when they're transferring this
And
waste. And they can, the maximum they could get was 6 loads a day with the EV trucks when they were brought out to try.
Where is Roosevelt?
Eastern
In
Washington.
Eastern
I thought so.
Washington, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they need at least 10 a day.
Hmm.
So the people who have the EV trucks said that they were going to work on trying to bring up the standards. Because they said they did some for Wilsonville in Oregon that are using trucks to collect trash.
Hmm.
They're almost all EVs there as a trial. So that was it.
Got it? Okay. TCOM 911? Nothing? Tenino School Board?
Yeah, they had their graduation last Friday night. It was hot. It's the first time in 19 years it didn't rain on
I know,
graduation.
it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it rained last year.
It did rain
Yeah.
last year.
No.
It did. I have pictures. Yeah, it rained.
Not very much though, because I was there.
Still rain. And
Not during the ceremony.
Sprinkling.
okay,
I don't
I'm not
think
going to go
so.
back and forth on this.
Yeah, I don't think it-
And then 8th grade promotion graduation is tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at the middle school, and last day of school is Friday.
Yep. Amazing. This year's gone by quickly.
Yeah.
And we graduated the last one also.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
sad,
kind of,
isn't it?
yeah. At first I was okay with it, then after I kind of sat on it for a bit, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, that's the way we feel about my great-grandson graduating. Just, oh, God.
TRPC.
We talked about the rolled transit buses that we have out here, and
Make sure you're speaking into the mic.
oh,
I can't hear
that's
you.
right, I forgot about that. We talked about the rural transit buses out here and the expansion that they're doing with it. We also talked about the budget and how the budget is created for TRPC, which is a lot of all the different jurisdictions that are members and how they're all going, how much they have to pay each year to be part of that. It hasn't been reviewed in a very long time. And so we're going to start reviewing it. We're going to have a couple of meetings on that. I told them I'd be on that committee if it's in person. If it's not in person, leave me out. And TPB is tomorrow morning.
Okay. Are the rural transit buses free now, like the rest of the transit system? I
the
thought they
buses
were,
are
but
free.
yeah.
One of the things that is going to be happening is they're going to have a bus finder so that you're on your phone and you can ask the phone where your bus is. Especially down here, it'd be helpful because sometimes if they have to answer a phone call to get off the route to go pick somebody up, because remember, this is the route, they got 3/4 of a mile on either side. So if somebody calls, they have to go there and get them and then come back to the route, adds extra time to it. So
You
the
can see
bus-
where the buses is on the route,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So it would help out a lot down here.
Cool. Thurston County Commissioner, nothing. Legislature,
Nothing.
nothing.
No,
We're not
Not
for a little
yet.
bit, yeah.
not yet.
It's getting close again.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, those are all the reports. Is there any other things for the good of the order?
I want
We
to,
got a few minutes.
yeah, I want to resign from the liaison for the fire commission.
From the what?
Fire commission, I've got too much going on, and that's Thursdays, and that's Lions Club, and so I'm not gonna do it. So,
So do you know who the alternate is on that one? Jeff, were you the alternate on the fire department?
I don't think I had it, I don't
Was
think
there
there
no
was.
alternate?
Well, we've got John,
Well, John's on there anyway, yeah, so you can report if
You know.
there's
Yeah,
anything to
if there's
report.
anything worth
Yeah.
bringing up, I can report
Okay.
it.
So, yeah, when we do reports, you can just, yeah, if there's something,
Yeah.
yeah, significance.
good,
What else?
wonder where Dan
We
is.
got, yeah,
Oh,
he's usually here
nothing.
early.
Yeah,
He missed out on all the news.
yeah.
He'll come in during someone's presentation.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Are you guys excited yet, or you're falling asleep?
Where are you from?
We're there just towards right here.
Oh, so you go to Tenino schools then?
So this is our work session at 7:30. We start our regular session. We can't start till 7:30, unfortunately. So were you here to speak about something, or were we just kind of listening in?
Kind of showing them the process.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, we do two things. We start at 6:30, kind of just, we can't make any just decisions here in this part of the meeting. We can just talk about issues and go back and forth. When we start at 7:30, that's where we take public input. So if anybody wants to come to a meeting and say, hey, council, I want you to do X, they can do that during the regular meeting. And that's where we make decisions. So we vote on budgets and all those kind of things, but that has to happen at the regular meeting, and those start at 7:30, every second and fourth Tuesdays of the month.
Oh, one thing real quick. Have you talked to Public Works about getting us a real sign for Reynolds and
No,
Sussex?
I haven't said anything to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. The flag at the police station is on frayed
Is it?
again.
Is it? Okay.
Does the city have flags?
We have to order one, because we just got one for out here, and we talked about getting one anyway, didn't we? A new one?
Ours is fairly new, we had to order it.
Yeah. I think we've just been ordering them when we need them, so.
Police department, she says it's right.
Mhm.
And I bought the last two.
We can get a flag.
That one down there is 8 by 10.
It's time
Time for a new one. I'll mention it to the chief. Have
to
him
properly retire this one.
take it out of his ample budget to get a flag.
Okay.
That's it. We got, sorry, went a little quicker than I thought it was, yeah.
How much do the flags cost?
$800
Yeah,
for the 8 by 10.
yeah. Hey, one thing I,
Bye-bye, thank you for coming.
thanks, yeah, yeah. One thing Jen just mentioned, I don't know if everybody's aware of it, that Rob Gordon, the mayor of Bucota and assistant fire chief, and he's been a
he
long
passed.
time leader down there. When I was fire chief down there, he was like 16 years old and just starting on the fire department. So he passed away he had cancer for some time, but it was kind of a quicker than I think anybody expected. But
Yeah, I don't think they expected when he went in
At
the
the hospital
hospital on
that-
Thursday that he wouldn't come back out.
So there is a funeral service if anybody wants to attend on Saturday at, let's see if I got it on I think I got it on my calendar here. This Saturday at, hold on a second, I'll find it. It's at 2:00 at Riverbend Ranch. They have that big,
Where's, down here?
no, down off of Skookumchuck Road.
Oh, okay.
Right off of Skookumchuck and the Bucota Highway. There's that tree farm there. You just go
Why don't
down
you
that
go?
long,
Well, is that how you go in?
that's where we went, yeah.
When I go to Riverbend, I always go down, clear down Skookumchuck and then over.
No, it's probably easier if you go Dakota Highway and right over the tracks.
And then it's right
First
there.
right, yeah.
Okay, It
It's-
says,
Where
there's
you
a
go
big
to the
sign.
powder.
Oh, I know where
Yeah,
it is here.
way back there, they have a big old barn that they have weddings in and stuff, but that's where his service is gonna be, so, I'll be there, but anybody that wants to, be nice to have a,
I'll probably be there.
yeah. And, just for your information, I was gonna they're losing Rob, who's kind of a big, he's a big part of that community. And I also, have heard that their, Mayor Pro Tem is leaving in a couple weeks. So they're gonna be struggling, I think, for a bit to kind of get their feet back under them. So I was just gonna go down to their next council meeting and just offer, I don't know what we can do to help them, but if there's anything that I can do or we can do as a city, that kind of help them
Pretty
get back
tough
on their
because their
feet.
meeting's on the same time as ours is.
Yeah, but anyway, if I can't be there, I'll at least send them some correspondence and let them know that, we're thinking of them and if we can help them with anything. But, yeah,
Have gavel, will travel.
yeah. His dad passed away from cancer too, several years ago.
Well,
That-
it's just a sad thing, he's a young, what? He's
Young
must be
kid,
about-
He's young.
young
must be
family,
about
yeah.
Wayne's age, I think, yeah,
44.
yeah, it's about Wayne's age. 'Cause Wayne
So you
did-
never know. Yeah, you never know.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Yeah. So I may still go down there. You guys can, Linda loves to run meetings, so.
Yeah, I just love it, yeah.
So we'll just
My
let her
favorite-
run the meeting.
Favorite thing to do in the whole world. God.
We
I
have
don't
a great council member that can step in and help you guys.
Okay, well, go potty and whatever.
Go potty.
Go potty. I need to go potty.
I was thinking about that.
What else did we not talk about today? Anything so far we discuss some time? Oh, I know what I was gonna tell you, budget-wise, that kind of relates to budget. I think last meeting, not last meeting, because I wasn't here, but we had expected the audit cost to be $11,000.
Oh, God.
Typically, they do these budgets every 2 years, and because of COVID, it's been, what, 4 years, did you say, Jen, since they've done one?
Yep.
So when they did their presentation, they said expect $60,000 to do this audit.
You know what's funny about that?
So we budgeted 11,000, but it's gonna,
We
it
have
could
to
be up to
have
$60,000, they're saying.
19 or 20?
2018 is the last time, because they're auditing 2019 right now. 19, 20, 21, 22. are the
I could
years
see
they're auditing.
doubling it, 22,000 with $60,000.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous,
It
especially
is.
when
That is.
it's nobody's fault.
Yeah.
COVID came.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
we'll
our
see
fault.
what they actually bill us,
It's
but
damn wrong.
that was their estimate coming in, but, yeah.
But you guys have heard me on that soapbox anyway,
Well,
so.
yeah. I really think we need to talk to someone about putting in a piece of legislation that would stop that nonsense.
Yeah.
It kills those cities, that's terrible, that's a horrible
That's a
thing.
lot of money for,
Hell of a lot of money.
even 11,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah. So don't forget to, I wanna meet with artists.
Yes. I was trying to figure out how to send the invite. I think it's the second. Let me double check that.
Yes, he is the second.
Yeah, we are meeting next month with, our new second district,
Andrew Barkus.
Andrew
Oh,
Barkus.
oh, okay.
He had a thing going tonight, fundraiser in Young.
Oh. That's cool.
I did have one of the candidates come down and just wanted to know about the town, one of the candidates for second district, Representative
Rhonda,
Rhonda.
Litzen.
running for Senate?
Yeah, a senator, yeah.
Yeah, Rhonda, she came to a splash bash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was sitting with us. She seemed to be very nice, very interested.
Was that her sitting next to Leah?
Yeah,
I
and her
thought
husband,
maybe
yeah.
that was her. I thought-
So I've been trying to, I've tried to meet with the others and just kind of get familiar, and I gave her one of those books, A History of Tenino, just so I said, hey, you want to do some reading on your downtime? Here's kind of the history of Tenino, just to give her an idea of what we're about, and
Hey, we haven't had a meeting since Splash Bash. We could do an update on that. Giant success.
yeah, with Splash Bash, is that out yet? How much money we made and all that kind of stuff?
Well,
Or
it's
not
gonna
yet?
end up, we're gonna end up just about what we did before, about 18,000 probably. Because it was well over 20,000, but then we have expenses that have to come out, and when everything gets taken
Gotta
out,
get
well,
it
then
all.
that's what we've got left, so.
Mhm.
But I'm taking, I've already talked to the chair. I'm taking, invoice to the meeting on the 26th, that asked to pony up the $2,400 for the one
Shelter.
gazebo, the shelter gazebo. That, and I think we did fine. I think we did well. I mean, I think it was well put on. I think Pam did a wonderful job.
Yeah, and it was well
We
attended. It was,
made $3,000 on the dessert dash, for crying out loud. That's
Yeah.
unheard of.
yeah, I paid almost
is
half of that
unheard
just
of.
for mine.
No, you did not. It was good, by the way, thank you.
Then I shared it with all our neighbors.
Yeah.
You Yeah, we kinda helped out a little bit too.
Well,
We had a
think
whole
it's,
table full of stuff that we had to put in the car.
Yeah.
It took 4 trips.
yeah, I know, I know what the bid numbers are,
What's,
so.
what is this decarbonization?
We'll talk about that during the regular meeting.
Well,
Remember we
has
talked,
to do with Park Avenue.
we talked about the grant for the, it's not been officially announced, so I'm trying to be sensitive about how much I say. But we talked earlier about the solar and battery storage on the cold storage facility.
Yeah.
That's that grant. We're basically,
That's that grant.
Oh,
I thought they
Carbon-
had something to do with the Park Avenue.
There is Park Avenue on there as well.
Park Avenue is a separate one. This is decarbonization.
Yeah.
That grant is,
Okay.
so we've been asked to sign
Yeah.
something to move into more details. It's not given that we'll get it, but it moves us into the kind of, here's, present your project to make sure everything's good, and so that's kind of what that's about. I just need to sign a letter saying we want to move forward with it. I don't know that it requires approval, but I just wanted to let the council know that we're kind of still in the running on it and have to sign a paper that says we're interested in moving to the next step.
All of a sudden, my hyperlinks just disappeared.
Oh, I can, since we're just sitting here, I can think of all kinds of things to tell you about. We did have some more graffiti again on the park bathrooms by the ball fields where the concession stand is.
Again?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I guess the chief said some girl posted a picture next to it smiling on Facebook.
And it was
It was a girlfriend of the kid that's
it's
been
what
doing
you
that.
guys like to think the better part of a man on the wall.
What we like to think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you like.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You got that wrong.
And then the other one was,
Send my pen back to me?
and Linda can probably tell you more about this when somebody was unloading stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, let
thank
her
you.
tell you. It's her
George
story.
Sharp's wife was unloading things for his birthday
Oh,
party.
yeah, that was a shame.
Behind the Kodiak. And she came out and somebody put gold spray right down the side of her car.
The whole
Spray paint
side,
the whole side of her
passenger
car.
side.
That is.
Just a few minutes she went inside?
Yep.
Well, she was uploading and bringing
Yeah.
stuff in, but it doesn't matter. But-
Somebody
well,
walked
she
Well, I
has
know,
an
I'm
idea
just
on
saying,
that.
in that short
That
amount
quick,
of time.
it's right in the middle of the, right in the daylight. too.
Everybody's there. The farmer's market's there, where everybody's there, and that's
They're doing
brazen.
great.
The chief called the gas station, I guess has some cameras back there to see if they could
Well,
see.
okay, too.
Yeah, see if they could see anybody on their cameras to, that may
Well,
have
the-
walked by there.
Well,
He was on the phone with Jade earlier.
Jade Johnson, yeah. And
Do
have
we
her
have-
look at the cameras to
Jen,
see if you could see anything.
Do we have signs for the RT buses where they stop?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We do have.
We just had a meeting with them last week about possibly moving their stop. We
Okay.
moved it more recently because it was by the library and right now it's in front of the phone company.
Yeah.
So we're having some issues with some loitering
Well,
on
and not
phone
only
company
that,
property.
no, it's awfully hard to come out on that street.
Yeah,
Those-
so we're
those two or
trying
three of those
to put
buses
it back
are
where
there.
the IT stop used to be, out right in front of the park.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we had the signs because that's part of the problems that we have with RT. It's a small grant with no capital funds in it at all.
Yeah,
And that's why it's been taking so many years just to get signs. So what the cities have been doing has been stepping up and just buying a few of them.
yeah, no, they gave us one
Okay, we got
quite a
lucky.
while ago, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's back there behind Sandstone.
Okay.
We're eating away at that 20 minutes we had, getting close.
Well, this is not gonna take very long, we'll be out of here before 8 o'clock. I wonder if Dan's all right. hope
I know, that's what
he's
I just questioned, where the heck is Dan? That's very unlikely. He was at graduation,
Yep.
so.
I hope he's all right.
It's getting close. September 14th is First Responders Potluck Barbecue while we're at the school.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he forgot, like some people did.
Like last meeting.
Yeah.
We don't have a phone number for him, though. We had one for John.
Have your phone number, call him.
Or at least you didn't have to call the local constable to come and arrest me to bring me here.
That's right.
That's still on our books.
What?
If a council member isn't at council, the local constable, and
Come
that's
and
the
get 'em.
wording, is supposed to go pick them up. And it's a $2 fine.
That's funny.
You know, I remember one
That's
legislative
one that needs to
session,
be deleted.
one legislative session, trying to remember the senator's name. It was from down the Longview area somewhere, and he was actually bedridden,
Oh,
and they brought him up in an ambulance to vote.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
before they had Zoom.
That happened last year too at state thing in Oregon. I was reading about it. Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember when it happened.
Could take a nap.
Yeah,
We thought you were taking a nap when nobody was here.
yeah, that's.
Earlier.
I apologize. I thought he was up here. He thought I was up
Yeah,
here.
well, we had a quorum on the back
But
porch.
you weren't even here yet when
When you got, yeah, when I pulled in, all of Linda's car wasn't here, but Jason's was, Jeff's was, and yours was, and Dave's was, so I was just like, oh.
No
I
worries,
was
yeah.
too, except I was up in the front.
yeah. Yeah, John was waiting on the porch, waving at us through the door.
Open, open, open.
We actually knew you were here, we're just making you,
Yeah, right.
making you wait.
That's really nice. Jerk. Wish they'd paint that building across the street.
Yeah, I know, it would look a lot nicer if it was kinda,
It's a mess.
I don't know how that place stays in business. really.
Who owns that middle
Do they
one?
build several cars? It seems like it's the same cars every day.
Who owns the middle one there?
Oh, the people that bought the,
They, same owner own all
all
three.
three of those, I'm talking about this one over here. across
It's
the-
like collision center.
Oh, I keep looking at that.
Well, that one, I'm working with Casey on things
Oh,
like
are
that.
you? Oh,
You should turn that back into a motel, haunted motel.
Have you seen the
Wouldn't that be-
rooms?
That, really, seriously,
Have you seen the size of the rooms? One bed.
Is it just
Yeah.
a little,
I used to work at Ace when they were there a long time ago,
mhm.
and at Christmas time, that's where they store all of their Christmas stuff, and I had to go up there.
So
and
there's
bring it
actually
down.
rooms in upstairs?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I've never been in the upstairs
Well,
part of it.
I told you when Casey's, because she's gonna contact me, take me up there, and you can go to see what, because I wanna see, maybe they can turn it into something
Yeah,
like
it'd
that.
be a great little kind of touristy little history, haunted, supposedly some people think it's haunted and,
They do?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
didn't know that. Didn't know that. I didn't know people thought it was haunted. Really?
yeah, I think so. That's what I
I've
heard.
heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
We should go spend the night up there like it is now one time, just to see.
That's okay. No, ghosts really don't scare me, you know.
well, the Eagles Club also thinks that they have a haunted.
Well, we think they do downtown too.
All the old buildings.
They have
yeah.
a ghost in the Eagles Club there, and
In Olympia.
no,
Here.
it's
Here?
Tenino. Oh yeah, there's been stories on it several
In the
times.
poker room?
Back
Or in
in
like
that
the-
other
the
back
game
part
room?
where they used to have the meetings in that very
Oh.
back.
Yeah, they still have meetings
What?
there.
Do they still have
What kind of
meetings?
ghost is it?
I don't.
Oh my God! I'm like,
I don't recall what the ghost was.
yeah, well, they've said for years that we have them in, like in the antique mall and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
You think there's any that live in this building?
No.
I don't think so either.
That's
Way
because
more
we
cool
moved
things
it,
would
they
have
don't
happened
know
by
where it
now.
is.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a chair will go
They all
flying across the
live
room or
at the, they all
something.
live at the quarry pool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I think I will go to the bathroom.
Might as well.
Might as well.
We're just relaxing.
It'll take more than 6 minutes. That's all you got.
I'm an old bartender, you know. When you say I'll be back in a minute, that's when you're 1 minute.
Yeah, I could take a 10-minute nap, no problem.
Yeah. I can't do that.
Oh, I love it.
You take,
Okay.
are you a napper?
I like
So
it,
goes
yeah,
up?
I like a 20 minute, maybe 20 minutes.
Rebecca's watched me many times tell her, okay, we're gonna park here for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes and then we'll go again. And she never once had to wake me up.
No way.
No,
That's awesome.
never once.
That's like,
How
because
did you
she
do
sleeps
that?
except without an alarm clock.
Is the Lions Club the ones that owns all the flags that they put out at the cemetery for Memorial Day? They used to put them up, and I don't know who owns them, but they put them up. Somebody
was just
has,
talking about those.
Judy,
Was it Judy?
do
Yeah.
you think? I was,
May have been, yeah.
somebody had put them up out there this year,
yeah.
wherever they stored them, the mice got into them.
Yeah, Judy, yeah.
They were awful. They had all these flags. The second one from the main entrance to the cemetery had a hole in it. And I am not
That's
kidding
that
you.
one, so
That's
it's
terrible.
small.
It was
But does the
awful.
Lions Club the
pressure
one that puts
washer.
the big flags up at the cemetery?
I've got a small
Or
pressure
no,
washer
or no.
still. It's
No.
Husky
Boy Scouts.
2000, $40.
Pardon?
Oh, you told me about that. You got it at the
They put up the
fire
flags.
department?
Yeah, so that fueled me getting a bigger one. So I
The
did
big
over the
ones that
weekend
hang
when I
along
saw
the
you.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
That used to be the Lions Club used to always do it. The guys came
So
out
I-
there
What
and
did
they
you
had their truck.
That's why I got the bigger one.
It's just
What did you just tell
something
them
look
about that?
rewarding for some
Oh,
reason.
well, those
Instant
flags,
gratification,
whoever
it's
put
safe.
them up this year.
You could write your
wherever
name
they've
in the
been stored,
concrete,
it
say,
looked
oh,
like
okay, and then
Russian
put it in a
doll.
brace.
They had those flags and the second one from the main entrance there had a hole in it like this.
I have quick
They're
connectors
just-
coming for
I'll
it.
talk to Judy about
Yeah,
it.
what?
Quick
And I
connectors.
don't
Oh, you
know
do?
whether it's the
Yeah.
Lions Club or is it the
I
cemetery.
quit having
I
to
don't
sit
know
tell
who owns
myself,
them.
righty tighty, lefty
But there
loosey.
were several of
Too
them that
bad.
had,
Yeah.
yeah, otherwise we can call them.
We had
Dang.
one of those
Penny.
plastic
Yeah,
lounge chairs.
Robotic.
Yeah,
They sit in the backside for, I don't know how long.
Somebody in here is not happy.
So I said, "Look, this is what
Bernardo,
happens.
Bernardo.
And it's really
Yeah.
green.
Brand new.
Although she
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be, too knowledgeable with the computer program.
So if you hear of anybody,
We asked for,
it's a good start for them to get
we
started
asked
with.
for a new
40
list to
bucks
see
is
if there
not
was,
money.
you know,
Just wanted
more
something
additional from 2 years ago. Every other year, we ask for a list for new, see if there's any new veterans that we may have missed. And, she sent me this real strange email with names on it. It says, we have 274 vets in our cemetery. I sent her back a message and I says, that's pretty hard, being we had 387 last year.
They moved. You hauled in the middle of the night.
That's a bad joke.
She's just checking the voter rolls, that's how she.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else said that too. Oh, they must have moved out.
Okay.
Couple minutes.
2 minutes and a half.
It's kind of weird not having anybody out there. You
I
usually
know,
at least
having
come look
a
at
Dan.
Dan.
Now you
Yeah,
can.
just talking to the wall, talking to the chairs.
We should bring in dummies next time just to make it look
Mannequins.
like somebody's out there.
I do that all the time when I'm high five, so I can go in the carpool and get my mannequin and throw her in there.
They're still doing that?
Hey Dave, I thought, I should have said earlier with the public works things, but with this $500,000 grant, one of the things Troy mentioned while we were in the meeting was, you know, the cost, you know, of increased workload with public works with the new ag park, when they're stretched all over the place. In your meeting, and I don't know if it's possible, but check with the EDC and see if maybe part of that, if we get new landscaping, could be something to help subsidize the city and maintaining their
No,
landscaping.
can't.
No, you can't, I'm sure you can't. It's their money and they, yeah. They may have a
For
little
ongoing
leeway
maintenance,
with
is
what
that
they
what you're
want.
saying?
It's
But-
our money that they think is theirs.
But if, how do I put this?
Well, Public Works isn't maintaining it out there either.
No,
They're all, EDC is responsible.
yeah,
for dragging it
so,
out.
you know,
In that park?
yeah,
So.
Not our
Public Work-
park, the egg park.
The ag park.
Right, I mean the ag park, but
Yeah.
it's in the ag park, but they're doing all the maintenance for it?
Yeah,
well, it's,
We have a lease agreement.
they are leasing the property from us.
and they're responsible for maintaining, and
yeah.
when they get enough businesses out
7:30.
there, what I understand is they're supposed to have it's all, I don't know what they call them, but almost like a homeowners association out there where all the businesses get together to pay for the cost of maintaining and upkeep. Okay, it is 7:30. We'll call to order the regular city council meeting, June 11th, 2024. All council members are present. Can we stand for the flag salute? Elaine, would you like to start us out? Thank you. Okay, we have an agenda for the
Move
meeting.
approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of the minutes from 5/28/2024.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes for 5/28/2024. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Consent calendar. Consent calendar, May 29th, 2024 through June 11th, 2024, consisting of payroll EFTs in the amount of $69,713.37. Claims checks 32,403 through 32,445 in the amount of $579,975.85 for a grand total of $649,689.22. And there is, let's see if there's any, no liquor cannabis approval.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, since PSC messed up on our streetlights and we may now be in a normal pattern, can we keep an eye on what they're charging us for
Yeah.
street lighting?
Sure, I just looked today because, I couldn't figure out, I thought we were getting charged 400 previously, and then we got that huge bill saying they changed it. I actually went back through 2023 just to see, because I still, even after talking to him, couldn't figure it out, and we actually had been paying close to the same amount. It's I think $70 more a month now, so there was no huge increase like I thought there was. But yeah. So anyway, yeah.
The biggest reason I brought it up is because there's a whole bunch of lights that they put in that were supposed to save us money
I
on
know,
the power bill.
I know. That's why we got all those LED conversions, and
Yeah.
then it costs more.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. No executive C. Guess there's none of those. Old business. Tenino Quarry Club
Did
house
we
use.
approve the consent calendar? We got a
Yes,
first and
we
second?
did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
did. Yeah, so old business is Tenino Lions Quarry Clubhouse use. The Lions Club bought this to us. Back in 2022, we made an agreement with the Lions Club. They did a bunch of work for us. And in lieu of charging them for using it, we said they could use the pool through, or we
No,
use
the
the
house.
Use the
quarry
quarry
house
house.
through, let me see here. Should have said, looked at it closer, through 2021. Well, COVID happened and they didn't use it for a couple of years because of COVID. But they've basically done all the work that they said they would do, so they're asking if we would be willing to extend that 2 years out from where it ended.
No approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the extension of the agreement with the Tenino's Lions Club through December 2026. And in lieu of the work that they've already done for us. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Park Avenue bid award. Motion to accept a bid for Park and Avenue overlay. We put out for bids the Park Avenue project. The low bid was submitted by Puget Paving and Construction of Lakewood in the amount of $259,544. The bids range from $259,545 to $344,000. And the engineer's estimate was for $316,150. So we're asking to approve the bid to Puget Paving and Construction for the work on Park Street overlay,
So
Park
moved.
Avenue overlay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the bid for the Park Avenue overlay project. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, after this last little fiasco we had, has that actually been looked at really close enough so that we know if there's anything missing?
I know our engineer looked at it and approved it as to, they met all the requirements, but he didn't say anything that he saw in there that was concerning. And I understand what you're saying. I think the construction project at the Ag Park's a little bit different than I think a street overlay project. It's, pretty straightforward, but I understand where you're coming from, that we don't want to get in another spot where it's costing more than.
Is it gonna be better than what we already have?
Yeah, this is an
overlay.
overlay, so I think they're grinding it down a little bit and actually pave versus just putting down rock in. That didn't work out so well.
No, because that's all starting to come up already.
Yeah.
Does this not include 6th Avenue?
What's that?
Does this not include 6th Avenue? I thought it did.
It goes on to Sixth a little bit,
Oh, okay.
not all the way down.
Oh,
It does
so
do
not-
that intersection.
Oh,
Just a
right
little,
to
I think
there.
it just is where it meets on there, they probably pave in a little ways just to make a good transition. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, number 10 is a community decarbonization grant. We talked a little bit, and you can see it there. This has not been, there's no been public proclamation of this, but I need to basically sign a letter saying we want to move forward with this.
Okay.
I don't
Letter
know
of
that I
intent,
really-
yeah.
We're not actually accepting any money, but I just wanted to make you aware, or even though we technically need a vote, but I like to just put it out there to make sure everybody's cool with moving forward.
Move forward.
Oh yeah, it tells it below what it's about.
Well, we have to, don't we? No, okay. There's no action on that.
There's no action. I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure,
got it.
make sure nobody had any concerns about moving forward. And when we get to the actual point where there's contracts to sign, of course, that'll come before you
Yeah.
again and be approved before any real
Right.
action is taken.
Okay.
I guess that's, is that it? Oh, we didn't do public comment, but I guess there's no public then. Yeah, that is it.
Okay.
Is there any announcements?
What'd I say? Oh, my God, look at that. That's a record.
7-minute meeting?
Any comments? Nope. Announcements? Okay, we adjourn.
Yay.
Non-debatable motion.
Yeah.